This game does not cure cancer, please don't sue.
Like most people in this world, I get bored of doing the same thing over and over all the time. Except making YouTube videos. And that way I'm an unnatural super freak. But when it comes to losing a game of Mario Kart, my patience tends to get tested. And sometimes you feel as if your favorite game just isn't fun anymore. And in that way, I'm just like you. But without a pair of keys to your house. Yeah, he's back again. Can I come in? No. Oh, shit. So that brings me to why I am here today, as I have a solution to this problem of ours. And after all my research, I've discovered that the solution to not getting bored of game was getting a new game. So without further ado, I present to you Guy. We fade in, the cat's sleeping peacefully. One stretch later, and now I'm falling to my death, where I managed to hold on to a crow in a desperate attempt not to die, right before landing in a bin where I wiggle my way to freedom and find myself in an alleyway where I apparently don't remember how to do basic bodily functions, such as breathing. But with a couple of pop-up text tutorials, I figured out how to do basic cat things, like breathing, once again, and I was off to the races. And then I eventually continue on to destroy someone's house interior and their art project. And soon after burning someone's house down, I run into the crow I happened to have mauled earlier, who was surprisingly forgiving for someone I nearly killed 5 minutes ago. Well, I've been expecting you to fly. Huh? Oh, looks like you're gonna need to do some more flight training if you're gonna get to my level, which you can for only $29.99 a month. Sorry, I don't think you understand. I can't fly? Not with that attitude, you won't. No, I really mean it, I can't fly. Since you're not convinced, I'll have to give you a free sample. Now follow me. No, still can't fly. I see how it is then. And after 10 minutes of not messing around at all, because I definitely knew where I was going, I find the crow again. This time on a bike next to a very territorial dog. Hey, you caught up. I noticed you didn't fly though. Now imagine how much faster you could have gotten here if you flew. Funny story. I'm not interested in I can't fly. Well, if you can't fly, then how do you plan on getting home? Yeah, you make a good point there. The crow continues by explaining that if I'm not going to fly home, I'm going to need to climb home, which in turn means I need energy by eating fish, which he happens to be selling for 25 shiny objects, and currently possessing none of them means I'm going to need to start collecting. But at the same time, I'm a cat, and in the description of this game, it clearly states, right here, you can go home if you want. So who am I kidding? There's no hurry. So with a hop, skip, and an overly priced flight away, I find my first mission from a little store with a cat having a nap, who, once awoken, says she is the mayor. Oh, I mean the mayor. She tells me the vital information that jam jars are disgusting. Alright, they're repugnant, and we must destroy all of them as they stand as a representation that cats aren't feared by humans anymore. Which is a very serious matter indeed. So I got to work knocking the first jar off the top of the vending machine, and then started destroying things. But before I knew it, the owner was right on top of me and they removed me from the store. But that was the least of my worries. How was I supposed to satisfy my need for violence if the store was so small the owner only needed to reach to stop me? So I did the next logical thing and I gave up. I embraced my fate as a cat and went to sleep. Nah! You really think I'd give up? I stole that shop owner's phone and ran for my life. You'd think she would have noticed, but I took the extra time to knock a few jars over on the way out. I sneaked to avoid detection to the mayor's side to tell her the good news, where upon hearing, goes to sleep right away and teaches me to make an ill face in said sleep. No fish, but I'll take it. I also found this cute little ladybug hat. Not far from the store, I find a hole in someone's fence, where I commit a crime of breaking and entering. And upon breaking and entering, I lay my eyes on... Oh! That's me! But as a chameleon! Okay, I get the point, cat. You can see me. Stop staring. I know you can see through my camouflage. You don't need to rub it in. You better back up, buddy. I have a poetics license. That's it. You forced me to do this. Bibbidi bobbidi! Get off of my property! And after the failed attempt to break and enter chameleon, I run into a Maine Coon who tells me I can sneak up on birds and pounce to catch them and steal their feathers. One of the most joyful moments of my life, stopping the most obnoxious chatter I've ever heard with some sweet revenge. Also, this guy did this mid-conversation. I thought I was done dealing with crazy animals for the day, except for that Maine Coon, he was a goat. But maybe if I take a shortcut through the construction site, there's sure to be at least a little peace and quiet. Hey you! What, me? Yeah, you! What about me? Can you help me out? And with a quick tug of his tail, I get him out of the pipe. Thanks. No problem, but why were you in the pipe in the first place? Well, it's quite simple, really. I was looking for feathers for my new invention when I thought I saw the famous inverted collector's edition gecko commemorative medallion, and well, I just had to. So he continues to tell me that he needs 3 more feathers to distort space-time and create the pet worm. A series of portals designed for fast and easy travel, so he tasked me with getting some feathers, and shortly after realizing I only had 2 and getting more, thanks to the advice from a Maine Coon, I gave them to the raccoon dog and he got his invention working. Do you want to give it a try? What, do you have something else better to do? As soon as I jump in, I find myself in a peculiar situation where I'm aware of my surroundings, but not physically there. Like a kind of out-of-body experience, but I really just teleported into the bin on the other side of the fence. And this now gives me access to the previously blocked off area where I find, you wouldn't guess it, another construction site. But instead of a stuck raccoon, I find a beetle who has dropped her phone in wet cement. Hello, Mr. Quiddy? I dropped my phone in the wet cement. Can you go get me a new one, please? I'm kind of busy. Yeah, sure thing. But getting the beetle her new phone would have to wait, cause I just got enough shiny objects to buy the fish from the crow. And the fish worked wonders for me, giving me my first paw's worth of height. And if we're going up by paws at a time, then if I convert the average height of a 2-story building to centimeters and multiply my paw by that, I'll need 711.111 more paws of height to go. This game is peak. Like, it's really up there. The characters are well written, the humor is just spot on, and I swear everyone's got something to say and it's always funny. My only complaint would be to stop the bird chatter. It's repetitive and loud, and a reminder that this video is not sponsored. Now after all that fun in the sun, or more like fun in my room in the dark with no idea what the outside world is like, I have some questions for you. Why don't you own a copy of this game? But for all those who already do own a copy, why don't you tell me about this game? Huh? Do you think you could keep all the fun to yourself? Well, you're not a nice person, so think about that. And the last question. Who the fudge put my copy of Little Kitty Big City on top of a mountain? And the person who did, make sure you don't sleep tonight. I know where you live. Bye bye.